whether the team is performing clean or unsightly. We'll cover it all here on Washington Football Nightly. I, of course, am your set man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me. Let's get to tonight's lead story. So, you know, of the 32 NFL franchises, and I could be wrong on this. I'm not a fan of the other 31 teams around the league. So I'm not following the everyday intricate details and minutia that goes on with those teams. I can only speak for the fan base and myself being a fan of this team. And I can't confirm nor deny this, but I feel like of the 32 teams, if you were to poll 1,000 people and ask them out of the 32 NFL franchises, these need to be NFL fans and real NFL fans, not, fair weather, not lay fans, guys that are hardcore NFL fans that follow the league, like myself and like a lot of you out there. If you were to poll 1,000 hardcore NFL fans and say, of the 32 NFL franchises, which one could be on the precipice of clinching a division on Sunday, yet having a controversy with their owner in which he was alleged to have paid off someone $1.6 million in a sexual misconduct situation? That's coming to light now. And your quarterback who started this past weekend's game is out seen in public, in a public establishment, without a mask on. He confirms it via social media, apologizes for his actions that jeopardized the team. And now you have that to deal with. And this is his second infractions. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Who else could be dealing with and oh, by the way, that quarterback, you might need him to start this week because the guy that's supposed to be starting is still dealing with a calf issue. Welcome to the Washington football team. How may I take your order? Okay, I think of those 1,000 fans, overwhelmingly, they would probably pick Washington. I don't think there's another franchise in the league that could pull this off. Be on the verge of doing something nobody gave you credit for, nobody thought you could do. Hell, I didn't think. Most of us didn't think this was possible, winning the division. But here we are in the driver's seat with a chance, if things fall our way, mainly the Giants losing on Sunday to the Baltimore Ravens, we'll have a chance. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later on in the show when we get to In Other News. But I don't want to harp on Dwayne because we'll do that a little bit later on. And I really don't have much to add. I said everything I needed to say really yesterday. I do want to come back around, circle back, and dot a couple I's, cross a couple T's on that situation, and then we'll move on. I don't really have a lot more to say. I handled all of that yesterday. When a lot of you pretty much told me I was hating or that it wasn't Dwayne. I had one guy, I'm not going to call out any names, but you know who you are, that swore up and down the entire time we were watching this on the premiere that it was photoshopped and that he had altered it and that he looked and it was, you could obviously see that it was two pictures put together, two different pictures, photoshopped. Oh, okay, cool. Whatever you say. Bottom line is, and I told you I didn't know if it was him or not, but that it was irresponsible. And we'll get into that a little bit later on, okay? I want to focus on the game, though. There was actually a football game on Sunday, and one that we almost won. So I do want to talk about that if that's okay with most of you out there. So, had a chance to watch the offensive film. And all the film did was confirm for me, and normally that's what the film does. Sometimes, like especially earlier in the season, when everyone thought the offensive line was terrible. Oh my God, this offensive line is terrible. Oh my God, Scott Turner's the worst. And some of you still feel this way. And I know who's watching the film and who's not. Because the people that aren't watching the film are the ones that are telling you Scott Turner's awful, and he can't do this, he can't do that. The people that are watching the film, they're the ones that are quiet. They're just watching everything take place because they know the truth. So normally, early in the season, I wasn't sure if Scott Turner was stinking it up, and this was the byproduct of him calling bad plays and putting guys in bad positions, or if we just weren't executing. And I quickly found out Scott Turner is doing a hell of a job, and guys weren't executing early in the season. Now I'm past that. I already know what Scott Turner's out here doing. There are times where I question Scott Turner, but I think every team in the league has moments where they question their offensive coordinator. I don't care how long you've been doing this for. There are times you question your offensive coordinator, like, why did you do that? Why didn't you do this? Anyway, this game was pretty simple for me on the offensive side of football. I'm going to be more interested to watch the defensive film because I had a lot more questions leaving this game defensively than I did offensively. I knew what I watched in the moment, and I was like, the film is probably going to confirm what I thought. Dwayne missed some things. Dwayne made some plays. There were opportunities for more plays to be made that we left on the field, which we did. And when it was all said and done, those 2 interceptions didn't have to happen, and they did. And we should have won this game. Despite the slow start, despite the mistakes, everything that we had opportunities and we didn't take advantage of all of them. And when it's all said and done, that's pretty much what it boils down to. There were some opportunities for plays to be made, for some shots to be taken. And, I thought there were times where Dwayne was aggressive, like early in the second half on that first touchdown drive. On a third down, he goes to Terry on a deep ball, and Terry makes a play. It's a great ball from Dwayne. It's a great catch by Terry. That's a gutsy throw by Dwayne. It's third down. You don't make that completion, you got to punt again. He doesn't care. He takes a 30-yard shot down the field. I love it. I told you, I love when guys take shots. It doesn't have to be on first or second down. They don't have to be safe shots. If it's there, take it. Third down is a risky shot because if you don't hit it, you got to punt. Especially on 3rd and 3. But he took the shot and he made the shot. I love it. There are plays like that. Then there are plays, and this play probably not going for a touchdown, but it's still a play nonetheless that you miss an opportunity. We still scored on the drive, so I don't want to kill him for this, but it's a run pass option. It's an RPO, and he pulls it and throws it to Terry, who's not open, and the run on that play might have gone for a touchdown. It might have gone for a touchdown. I kid you not. You got a lead blocker in Logan Thomas leading him up the middle of the field. There's a linebacker there. If Logan gets on that linebacker, Bobby Wagner, and JD hits it hard, it's a race to the end zone between him and the opposite defender on the other side of the field. And he pulls it and throws an incomplete pass. Missed opportunity. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. The second interception, the first interception that he threw, Isaiah Wright's wide open. What are we waiting on? Throw him the football. Don't throw it to Cam Sims and have it tipped in the air. Throw it to Isaiah Wright. Missed opportunity. The second interception, it's not there. It's a 2-man route with a check down underneath. It's not there. Throw it to the running back in the flats. It's first down and 10. Inside the Seahawks 30-yard line. What are you doing? Those are the types of plays you can't have. But we did. And I think that one was inside the Seahawks 40-yard line. Whatever the case may be. You're on the move with an opportunity. You're moving the football. These kind of mistakes you can't have. I thought he did some really good things with his legs. I thought he made some really quick and accurate decisions. I was impressed with Dwayne, minus probably about 10 plays in this game, which is a far cry from where I was on Dwayne a week ago against San Francisco, or the first 4 games of the season when he started. That said, we should have won this game. We should have won this game. This was a very winnable football game. And we left too much meat on the bone. And it cost us. And we did not have to lose this game. Seattle's a good football team, a damn good football team. But you know what? And I never thought I would say this year, but you know what? So are we. Damn it, so are we. I didn't think I would ever fix my lips to say that this season. But when I look around the league and I look at the football that's being played and I look at this team, I say 80% of the league, we can compete with them. NFC, AFC, it doesn't matter. We can compete with 80% of the league. Now, there in the AFC, there's an upper echelon, an upper tier I want no parts of. Kansas City, Buffalo. I want no parts of those teams. You know? Would I like another shot at Cleveland? You're damn right I would. Think I could take those bastards. Would I like another shot at Baltimore with the way we're playing football now versus how we were playing earlier in the season? You damn right I'd take another shot at Baltimore. Don't know if we'd be successful, but I'd love to take another shot at them. Tennessee, I'd like to think we could slow down Derrick Henry. It didn't look like it in this game. But I'd like to think that we would make a concerted effort to slow down Derrick Henry and force Ryan Tannehill to beat us. I don't know. Maybe he would. But we are a better football team than we thought we would be at this point of the season after starting 2-7. And we didn't have to lose. This wasn't one of those games where you say, well, they were the better team. They were supposed. No, we should have won this football game. And we left points on the scoreboard, and that includes Dustin Hopkins. That includes not being able to overcompensate for Dustin Hopkins' miss by converting a 2-point conversion. We left points, we left opportunities on the field, and that's how you lose to opponents like Seattle, who are 9-4, now 10-4 on the season. When you don't take advantage of opportunities, when you leave points on the field, when you leave opportunities on the field, when you turn the football over, when you don't overcompensate for a mistake. Look, mistakes are going to be made. Defense gave up a 50-yard touchdown. Offense, go pick them up. Offense needs the football back. Defense, go pick them up. Dwayne just threw a pick. Go pick them up. The offense picked up the defense when they gave up the 20-yard, a 50-yard touchdown. They went out and scored a touchdown. They said, hey, we need the ball back. Defense said, we got you. They go and tip the ball in the air, pick it off. They go get another touchdown. Dustin Hopkins misses a damn extra point. Well, pick his ass up on the next touchdown. Pick him up. You score again, get the 2-point conversion. Wipe that shit away. That's what good teams do. We don't sit there and we dwell, oh, no, we missed the extra point. What are we going to do? Teams go for 2 all the time. Convert the damn 2-point conversion. It's 2 yards. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Kickers miss all the time. No, we don't have Justin Tucker. No, we don't have Ryan Suckup. We don't have an elite kicker. Most of the league doesn't. A lot of the league doesn't have an elite kicker. There are teams like the one we faced in Seattle. Hasn't missed a kick this year. In Green Bay, Mason Crosby hasn't missed a kick this year. The Steelers, their kicker, hasn't missed a kick this year. Yeah, there's some of those out there too. But there are a lot of teams like Tennessee who, oh, by the way, 10-4. They could cry about their kicker who's missed the most kicks in the league. You know what they've done? Pick his ass up. Find a way to win. Go for 2. To hell with him. Got to overcome that stuff. You can't sit there and cry about it. Find a way around it. It's called circumventing your circumstances. Circumvent that problem. You don't want Dustin Hopkins to decide the game, score a touchdown. Win the game. We still had a chance to do that. Go win the game. We didn't. So you can sit here and talk about Dustin Hopkins missing an extra point. Yeah, that was a huge play in the game. Forced us to. How do you know he wasn't going to miss a game time field goal at the end? Let's not act like that was going to be a gimme field goal. That was going to be from 50 some odd yards. How do you know he was going to make that anyway? We don't know anything. Just go out and find ways to execute. We should have still won the game. You had opportunities. You didn't get it done. You lose 20-15. Frustrating when you go back and watch the film because you know there were opportunities. There were some good play calls. There's some things there that we left on the field that could have changed this outcome. But we didn't do it. And that's the next maturation of this football team, is being able to overcome mistakes. We're not there yet. When we play mistake-free football, we can beat almost anybody. But we're not at the point where we can play clean football consistently. Have a game with 0 turnovers, no missed field goals or no missed extra points. We're not at that point yet. We're not where we're playing clean football week in and week out. We're not there yet. But you know what? When you get to a point where if you miss an extra point or you miss a field goal or you don't take advantage of this opportunity or you turn it over, but you still find a way to win, that's when you know you're starting to turn the corner. We're not there yet. But we're working our way towards that. That's a next year thing, more likely than not. That's not a this year thing. We're not there. We won't get there this year either. We won't be a good enough team. If we are to win this division, if we are to advance in the postseason, if we get to the postseason, we're not there yet. We're going to have to play clean football. We're going to have to make kicks because we're not in a position right now where we're able to overcome those things. Not yet, at least. So, that was the frustrating part about this game. This is a mentally tough team. And I'm not questioning the mental toughness because every week we're in a hole and every week we dig ourselves out of the hole. Whether we are successful in doing it or not, every week we create a hole for ourselves and this team doesn't quit. So I know they're mentally tough. The question is, can we overcome certain circumstances throughout a game and still win when we don't play a clean game? That's the real question. I don't think we're there yet. So, with that said, let's get to in other news. So, I got to start with Dwayne. Just get this out of the way. Dwayne Haskins essentially came out, apologized for his decision-making on Sunday after the game. He admitted that everything that we saw was legit. And I told you this yesterday. I told you that the biggest issue with the youngins, all right, this new generation, is that everything that they do is chronicled online for people to see. You're gonna have some fun. I told you, I don't care. I'm not one of those optic guys. That's bad optics. I'm not one of those guys. He should be out in his playbook. That's bad optics. You lost the game. You had 2 interceptions. Why are you out partying? I'm not that guy. I don't care what you do with your free time. That's what I stated yesterday. I'm not moving off of that spot. I told you these guys aren't robots. They're not machines. They have lives. What you do with your free time is totally up to you. I don't care. All I ask is that you do not jeopardize other guys with your behavior off the field. This is not a normal this is not a normal regular season. It's not a normal year. This is a COVID-19 season. You have to take that into consideration. In a normal year, the only complaints we would have about the pictures and the videos that we've seen over the last 48 hours is the fact that we lost a game and he's out partying like we didn't just lose and like he didn't throw 2 interceptions. I wouldn't have cared. I would have told you that's on Dwayne. He has the right to enjoy himself. He's not breaking any laws. He's not doing anything wrong. Let him enjoy his life. He's a young 22, 23-year-old. Let him enjoy life. I'm not mad at him. I wouldn't have had a problem, but it's COVID-19. It's not a normal season. Where the hell is your damn mask? That's all I ask. And you know that you're Dwayne Haskins. You're not going to be able to go anywhere without people taking pictures and posting them. You're not in control of these situations where you can say, hey, all phone and mobile devices, I'm going to need those. No pictures taken. You're not big enough. You're not a celebrity in that regard where you can demand that everybody in this building give me your phones or make them sign a disclosure form, that stops them from being able to post anything that they see. You can't do that. You're not somebody of that status where you can shut down a building and say, nah, I'm in control. Nobody, no photos or any of that stuff. At the end of the day, I said everything I really needed to say yesterday. Just really disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm not upset at Dwayne about the act, and his decision to go out. I'm disappointed about not wearing a mask. That's what because you're jeopardizing the entire team when you do that. And oh, by the way, we need you, bruh. We need you. You're not third string quarterback anymore. You're not Steven Montez. You started for us this week. You may have to start again this week. We can't have you out here doing stupid shit. That was so irresponsible. I'm disappointed. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. Because I told you, I'm done with Dwayne. I told you that before he got back in the game. I'm done. My hands were washed. They clean. Squeaky clean. I'm just trying to up this man's value in the offseason. Well, this might have killed it. This might have killed any value. Because if I'm another team out there and I'm interested, I'm going to tell you, he's immature. I'm not giving you anything more than a 6th-round conditional pick. I was hoping to get it up to a 4th or a 3rd. A couple showcase games at the end of the season. He plays well. Hey, this guy's got something. We just want to move on. But this guy's got something. I don't know if you're going to be able to convince a team of that after this episode. That's his 2nd strike with COVID. The league is going to come down, and you know what Washington's going to be forced to do? And they don't want to do this. And I told you yesterday, somebody said during the premiere, we should release Dwayne. I said, nah, that's not the answer. That's not smart. He's worth more to us right now than to just release him. It's almost like a used car, the used car scenario I always give you. Somebody's trying to lowball you for your used 1998 Honda Accord. Shit still works, get you from point A to point B. You say, look, man, I want $2,500 for this. They're like, I give you $1,200. Nah, it's worth more to me than your little $1,200. I'm not hurting that bad. I hold on to it because I can still drive it if I need to. If you're not going to give me my $2,500, I'm going to just hold on to it. I got it souped up. Got a radio inside, got some speakers. I just did some work under the hood not too long ago, a year ago. Nah, $2,500. Take it or leave it. No, you want to give me? Okay, then I'll hold on to it. Don't worry about it. I'm not giving him away. I'm not releasing him. He's still worth us. There's still value here. And he showed it on Sunday. Had he been playing like he did earlier in the season, you could justify releasing him. And this is that whole, if you're talented, you get more opportunities than somebody that's not talented scenario coming into play. All right? If this were Colt McCoy with his 2nd COVID transgression, his ass would be gone. Okay? You can find another Colt McCoy on the streets. Okay? You know what I'm saying? If this were Josh Johnson, he would have been gone already. It's not. It's Dwayne Haskins, a guy you spent the 1st-round pick on. There's still value here. So you don't just release him, even though you're really disappointed in him. As disappointed as you can be because of the situation. We are on the precipice, as I said at the top of the show, of potentially winning a division, and you're dropping this in my lap the week of the game? You could be starting this week. And what Dwayne is forcing this team to have to do is they're going to have to handle this internally, meaning they're going to have to suspend him, fine him, in-house. If they don't want the league to step in, you got to show the league, hey, we got this. No need for y'all to come around here sniffing around, doing anything egregious. We got it. This is what the college football teams do all the time. Slap their self on the wrist. Hey, we got it. No bowl game for us this year, even though you was trifling and stinking as hell, and it like LSU this year. No bowl game for us. We're going to punish you stunk this year. You was going to play in a funky-ass macaroni and cheese bowl anyway. You're not really hurting yourself, but in order to keep the NCAA off their ass, we're going to slap ourselves on the wrist. We got it. Don't worry. You don't even need to come over here. We got it. We won't play in a bowl game this year. Woo-hoo-hoo. But the NCAA is like, okay, we'll let you handle it. Same thing here. You want the league to bad back and say, hey, we're going to let y'all handle it? But handle it. You want a laissez-faire approach? You're going to have to suspend him this week. Without pay. Fine him maybe even. But that kills you because what if Alex isn't right? What if Alex can't go? What if Alex is compromised like he was against San Francisco early in the ball game and isn't able to finish? What are we going to have to do? Turn to Steven Montez or Taylor Heineke? You put us in a really bad spot by doing this. This shows and I've talked about this with Dwayne. I've been talking about this. There's a lack of maturity here. I talked about some of the flashiness on IG. Like, again, whatever floats your boat. I don't care about that. But that shows a lack of maturity. A lot of the things we've seen from him, lack of maturity. And I told you guys this. And a lot of you, you hating, man. Louie T, I love you, but, man, it's starting to become really nauseous, man. This is a lot of hating on Dwayne. You don't get it. You don't get it. All of us should be able to look at somebody and tell they're a full-blown adult. You can tell Chase Young, full-blown adult at 21 years old, full-blown adult. I don't have to go behind him and tell him what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do. Terry McLaurin, full-blown adult. Don't have to run behind Terry and tell him what's necessary. He knows. He knows better. Jonathan Allen, full-blown adult. But some guys on this roster, Dwayne is probably the ringleader. Not there yet. Not a full-blown adult. Not making adult decisions at all times. Some of you fail to realize that. You get blinded by the black quarterback thing, wanting to see him succeed. You got to let that shit go. It's like Robert all over again for some of y'all. You haven't learned your lesson. I don't give a shit that he's black. I want the black quarterback to succeed just as much as you do out there. But if it ain't it, it ain't it. It wasn't it with Robert. It ain't it this time around with Dwayne. Let it go. Black, white, orange, purple. I just want a quarterback that helps us win. I don't really give a shit what the color of his skin is. I root for whomever they draft. I rooted like hell for Kirk Cousins. You know how I feel about Kirk, okay? I always root for the brothers. But again, there's a line that you draw and you say, okay, okay, you don't get it. All right, you got to go. You got to go. And I hit that line with Dwayne earlier this season. We saw red flags last year. We ignored them because we wanted Dwayne to work. We wanted him to work. I wanted him to work. You wanted him to work. We wanted to be right. Because we didn't want to have to do this quarterback thing again. We wanted this to be done with. Found a guy. Let's move forward and build the team. Well, we didn't get it right. And really, we should say Daniel Snyder didn't get it right because the draft guys, the personnel guys, they didn't want Dwayne in the first round at 15. That was Daniel Snyder. If Daniel Snyder had it his way, he would have traded up to get Dwayne. Luckily, they were able to convince him, no, we don't need to do that. Nobody else is taking this guy. We shouldn't even be taking him at 15. That's another story for another day. At the end of the day, he's here. We gave him a run. We gave him a chance. There is talent. That is definitely present. And you can see it. But it's undeveloped. It's inconsistent. There still are some mechanical issues and flaws. But I think after watching him this past week, some of those are workable. You can iron out some of those things with just reps over and over and over and over again. You can iron out some of those things. But at the end of the day, the maturity, you can't be sure that he's going to get it. You can't be sure. You don't know when that light bulb is going to come on. I tell you this all the time. Everyone matures at a different rate. I've said that to you at least 1,000,000 times. At least. That's one of the things I live by. That's why I try to accept people where they are in life. Because everybody's not at the same place. We all might be the same age, but we're not at the same point in life. And that's okay. I try to accept you for where you are at your journey, at this point of your journey. And for Dwayne, for where we are as a team and where we're going and where he is at this point of his journey, the two just don't mesh. We're going this way. Dwayne's still kind of heading that way. And so we just need to move on. I don't want to do that right now, but I told you, that's an off-season thing. That's an off-season thing. That's not a right now thing. But he's forced the team to probably have to do something. He'll probably be inactive this week. I don't know. It's hard to say right now. They've got to kind of mull over these decisions. They've already been in contact with the league. It's a tough spot to be put in for Ron Rivera. I know he's got to be sick right now. Like, God damn it, Dwayne. I know Ron's, he's pissed. This is why he benched him the first time. Lack of maturity. And they hoped that all of the things that had transpired to get to this point would have made him a much better decision maker on and off the field. And they said, guess we just didn't do enough. He just doesn't get it. So that's unfortunate. But again, let me reiterate this one final time. I don't care that he was out. Some of you missed that and don't understand that. That's his prerogative. It's his life. He has free time off the field. These are not robots. These are not machines. These are human beings. Okay? So when football time is over, if they want to have playtime, they can do whatever they want. It's not the actual act of going out and going to a strip club and going out to a restaurant. None of those things are illegal. He didn't do anything wrong. It's the fact that he didn't wear a mask. That's the problem. That's where the immaturity sets in. So, I said that to say this. He's put us in a tough spot this week. We got to hope and pray that Alex's calf muscle responds well to treatment and practice, because I think you've got to practice Alex to see how he responds in order to know if he can go or not. Because if Alex can't go, you got to give Taylor Heinicke all the reps this week. Like, we can't sit here and just assume Alex can go without reps and then be ready to go on Sunday and then gets in the game and then he can't go. Or we can't have Alex taking the bulk of the reps this week and then Friday they figure out that Alex isn't responding well to, having the heavy workload and you got to go in a different direction and that guy hasn't been taking the reps. Because I don't think it's going to be Steven Montez. Not in this crucial spot. It's going to be a guy that knows the offense. So it would probably be Taylor Heinicke, if I had to guess. So, it's a tough spot to be in. But Taylor Heinicke might be starting for us this week. Taylor Heinicke might be starting for us this week. It's a very, very realistic possibility. It's crazy. We got a chance to clinch the division, and we might be starting a guy that just got here 3 weeks ago. This has been the 2020 season for Washington, though. I wouldn't be shocked. And you know what else I wouldn't be shocked by? If we found a way to win that game. Because that's been who we've been this season. We've been really resilient, no matter who's been under center. We've won a game started by 3 different quarterbacks this season. Nobody else in this division is doing that. So, hell, not many teams in this league. Forget about this division. Not many teams in this league is doing that. So, let's hope it's not a 4th, though. I'd really appreciate it if Alex could go. That said, CBS, in conjunction with the NFL, and this was really an NFL move, pushed the Washington game back to 4:05 on Sunday afternoon, meaning The Giants-Ravens game kicks off at 1. Washington was slated to kick off at 1 as well, and they were supposed to be simultaneous games with the outcome happening in 2 different locations and Washington not knowing if they were playing for the division or not. Well, the NFL says, we're going to do you a solid. You'll know if the division is on the line or not, because the Dallas-Philadelphia outcome is of no consequence, because if you beat Carolina on Sunday, you win the division if the Giants lose against the Ravens at 1 p.m. So they said, you know what? We'll push you back to 4:05. You'll know what happens in that Ravens game. If they take care of business, you'll know that the division's on the line. And if you take care of business, you've won the division. If you don't, and the Eagles win, then the Eagles game is for the division the following week. If Dallas wins and you don't win, then if you lose to Philadelphia and Dallas wins against the Giants the following week, the Cowboys win the division. So you open up a can of worms if you don't win on Sunday. But the league said, we're going to do you a solid and let you know what you're playing for. I appreciate that. I really do. That'll make the victory all that more sweet if we get it, knowing that we won the division. You know, if we get a chance to get into victory formation, that's a Gatorade bath for Ron. That's get out the caps, the division caps. You know, get out the T-shirts, all of that. We already know. So, it makes that game that much more nerve-wracking, but it also makes it that much more enjoyable if we are to get the victory. Versus worrying about what's going on in the Giants game simultaneously and having to have someone tell them, they'll already know going into the game what's at stake. So, I appreciate the NFL doing us that huge solid. But in any event, I digress. That's going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on this latest installment of the Washington Football Nightly program. I can't thank you guys enough for joining me. You got the Daniel Snyder situation. You got the Dwayne Haskins situation. And, oh, yeah, by the way, just as an aside, we are going for the division this week, potentially. Only Washington, man. Only Washington. Only in Washington can you potentially winning the division be the third item on the list of things that people care about with your football team in the upcoming week. Isn't that amazing? Division potentially on the line pending the outcome of the Ravens-Giants game. And here we are talking about Snyder and Haskins and not football. I'm not going to really contribute to that. This will be, if we get a ruling on the Haskins situation, if they decide to bench him or they decide to suspend him, then we'll talk about it some more. But I'm done. I've said all I need to say. We did a nice chunk of the show on it yesterday. I took another chunk of this show today to talk about it. I'm done with it. I've said my piece, and so I'm done. Hands are washed clean of the situation. I'm done. I barely talked about the Snyder situation. You know why? Because I don't give a shit. Honestly, I hope that they leave us out of it. But more likely than not, when this Beth Wilkinson investigation is done, we're probably going to lose some draft picks. Just so you know, just so you're aware, when this investigation by Beth Wilkinson is done and the league sinks their teeth into this, we're probably going to end up getting fined and we're probably going to lose draft capital. So brace yourself. Your boy Daniel Snyder may cost this team more than already you know. So in any event, I thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And I can't begin to describe just how much I really appreciate you guys supporting the Louie T Network. Means a lot. Really does. So with that said, I can't thank you guys enough. Till next time, I'm your man Louie T, signing off. Remember, we'll be live tomorrow night, and then we'll have a an expanded Thursday episode, which will include my keys to the game and prediction for the Carolina Panthers matchup. We'll try to get as much of the injury report. Remember, it's a day short. Obviously, Christmas is going to kind of alter the schedule this week. So keep that in mind. But if you haven't already subscribed to the LouieTeeNetwork, go ahead and do that. All right. If you haven't already hit that notification bell, go ahead and do that. All right. If you haven't already hit the like button, go ahead and do that as well. I thank you guys again for your support. I'm your man, Louie T, and this has been Washington Football Nightly. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Here comes the diesel. Here comes the diesel. There's the snap, hand to Riggins. Good hold. He's got the first down to the 40. He's gone. The 35, the 30, the 20. He's gone. He's gone. Touchdown.